cleared one of the rooms and then found like the
Yeah, we were in the sewer.
wine. Yup, we found like the stolen kegs of wine, but decided to investigate further down. We found some traps that were supposed to keep something in, as opposed to keeping us out. We investigated further, and that hallway led to a room which held a troll chained with some of the red renegades. Was it?
Yes, it was.
That was the one. Thugs and one of the spellcasters also talking with Mike. Mike seemingly being of a higher standing within this group, as he was cussing and telling people off. Initiated combat. It went for a while as things got a little bit hectic with the troll managing to free itself, but nothing we couldn't handle. We were left.
Sliced one of their legs off.
Yeah, we were left with one of the thugs unconscious, and Mike. I think it was Mike that lost his leg. Was it?
Yes, you guys brutally destroyed his leg.
Mm.
No, Nararan brutally destroyed his leg.
Yes.
Accidentally. I didn't realize the blade would cut through so easily.
Yeah, I think it was an at 20 for that
Yeah,
one.
it was. It was, yeah.
We talked amongst ourselves, and we were kind of split between killing him off then and there and sending Mike in the desert off to his demise. Eventually, it was put to a vote, and it was decided that we would kill him off now. Yanni asked that the party leave him to his devices to make a dole out of Mike, but that was a bit of a lie, as I think it was only Cola that was left behind in the room when Yanni put up an illusion in between himself and the owl in order to remove his mask and feed off of Mike for draining him and chalking it up to Mike being too weak to be made into a doll for us to bother. And I think we dragged the unconscious thug to the other unconscious thug that was guarded by Yannis homunculus before dragging both of them out and towards the garrison in the city.
Oh yeah, I missed the last hour of the session. I was like, when did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so after, don't forget, you guys also discovered that there was another sort of storage room at the back of the very first chamber that you fought the Red Renegades, and found a pretty decent and healthy amount of potions, as well as a few other things that you would typically find in a sort of storage room designed for like heavy combat or days of siege or attack. So you were pretty happy with that find. And yes, don't forget, you guys also did cast, I can't remember that spell now, but you were able to...
Disc.
Yes, thank you. You were able to cast that spell to sort of help you with your lifting of the 3 massive barrels of wine. And so that takes us to where we are now. All 5 of you, because Lily is still with you guys, dragging these 2 red renegades through the city. Right now, the sky has a very pronounced orange glow to it, as the sun is starting to rise from your nightly adventure, and people are starting to wake up early to either get to work, start the day off, or to open up a store. And as you're walking through the streets, they do notice the five of you dragging two bodies as well as 3 barrels of wine, and you get quite a big uh, notice as you hear whispers here and there, people asking whether these are the Mythfits or not. You do hear your name spoken pretty often as you walk towards the barracks. And by the time you get there, there is little to no one out in the courtyard. Not even our friend Jeff, as you get the feeling that even though it is the morning, it's a bit and people are up and about, you get the feeling that it's not really for the guards, it's not really their thing to be up this early. As the ones that are up, you can assume are just on a night shift, you know, getting close to the end of their shifts.
Was the room that held the like captain of the garrison too far inside, or was it like somewhere closer to the outside of the barracks itself?
So the captain's room, so as you would enter the actual barracks of the building, there's 2 stories to it. And so as you enter, it kind of opens up into a pretty large hallway where there are 2 sets of stairs at the very back. You would have to actually walk up those stairs and then walk around like above the entrance of where the barracks is in order to get to the captain's office.
Okay.
I mean, the garrison know
Just
who we are, right?
well, they do know who we are, but still, it might be considered intruding upon property. So
Are there like no guards out or anything? Just like one or two or anything like that?
There are 1 or 2 that are busy patrolling the courtyard as well as the sort of barracks walls. But even though they are supposed to be patrolling, barely any of them like take notice of you. You get the feeling that they're a bit too tired to actually like focus on doing their job properly.
All right.
Uh, Yanni will send his homunculus like up, and assuming that the room of the captain had like a window, he'd ask the homunculus to look inside if the captain is in or if he's out.
All right, so you send your homunculus up. It can fly, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it sort of hovers for a bit before flapping its wings a little bit harder and getting higher. There is a sort of circular window with a very unique pattern. The glass on the sort of barrier of the window is very difficult to notice, but in the center there's this sort of clean see-through plane where your homunculus is able to see through and actually see the captain awake in his office, busy working on some papers on his desk.
God damn it. Don't have a message. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Yanni will start walking inside the barracks and down the long corridor.
Yeah, I'll follow behind him with Scarlet in tow.
And you I'm assuming the rest of you are also following.
Yeah, Yuna's not leaving her bro's head.
Alright. Are you gonna leave the bodies outside, or are you gonna drag them in?
Oh, dragging them in, kicking and screaming if necessary.
Alright, alright. So as you guys are walking through the corridors, one of the red renegades slowly come to conscious as they take a second to look around, trying to figure out where they are, and they sort of see the crests of the gods on the walls and on banners that are hanging down. Who is dragging this one?
Which one is this one?
The one that is waking up. So, yeah, who is dragging a renegade? So there's two.
Just for the sake of simplicity, let's say that one of them is secured by Victoria while the other is secured by the rest of the puppets.
Ah, nice.
Ah, alright. Cool, cool. Alright, so I'm actually gonna roll a dice because I can't decide. Alright, perfect.
Yeah, Scarlet will be following right behind all the puppets to make sure if they go for a runner that he'll be able to chase after them.
Alright. So the one that is waking up is the one being held by Victoria. So he wakes up, looks around, and he very quickly starts to panic as he tries and thrashes his way out of Victoria's grip. I'm gonna need her to do a contested strength, please.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. How
Huh.
does that happen?
Huh.
That's a great way to start the day.
Huh. Okay.
Well, I think if it equals the one that's contesting wins, it
Yeah, if it meets, it beats. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Victoria should win, right?
Nope. The
Yeah.
one challenging the like attempting to escape is the thug.
Alright.
So the thug will win.
Alright, alright. So very quickly, this guy gets up to his feet and just kind of easily slips his way out of Victoria's grip, but Victoria is always alert, always like conscious of him, and she actually reacts pretty fast and is able to like kind of grab him on the back of his coat, and just as equally as reactive, this guy just rips his coat apart and it just slips out of it as he makes a beeline for the entrance.
Scott is going right after him.
All right. I have not done a chase before, but what's Scala's movement?
Scarlet's movement is 40 feet, I believe. It is. Tree Companion is. Yeah, 40 feet.
Okay, this guy has 30 feet of movement. So, yeah. So as he runs, Scala also dashes after him. And how is Scala gonna prevent him from getting away? Because
Pretty much Scarlet's gonna try, like, jump onto his back and just try, bring him to the ground and then just growl at him to, basically scare him into not taking a runner.
all right.
So strength, I guess. Again,
Yeah.
against I think acrobatics or athletics for him. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Scarlet doesn't roll well, but let's go for it. Like I said, he doesn't roll well.
Oh, this is absolute horseshit.
Please tell me he rolled lower somehow.
I got a natural one as well.
You gotta
Oh
take
my
a picture
God.
of that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. That's bullshit.
I gotta see that.
Oh,
Oh my god. So it's 2 nat 20s followed by 2 nat 1s.
How?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
Oh, that's beautiful. Getting those outliers out very early.
Yes, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Actually, let me just take a screenshot. That's so much easier.
Windows Shift S. Brilliant way to do it.
There you are.
Oh my god. It's actually real. What the hell?
I don't know how to explain it, but
What's the modifier on that? Because I have a Scarlet has a +3.
he has a +4 to strength.
Okay, so he just wins.
Yeah. So as Scarlet chases him, he kind of just looks back, sees her, and he's unaware of a small coin that just so happens to be standing up straight. And as his foot lands on it, he yells and trips over himself. Scarlet, who had jumped at that point, pretty much missed him completely and just rolled forward as they both just kind of roll towards the entrance from this very inconvenient little coin that is still standing up straight after that. He's able to recover himself, although he kind of trips again, but still able to recover and just goes for the entrance again.
Alright, let's see. What was the attack of the homunculus? I know that the homunculus has a ranged attack. Give me just 1 second to find it.
Enough with that. A longbow shot to the knee. Or the back of the knee.
Alright, make me a hit for.
22?
Yeah, 22 hits. I know this was the dude that you guys actually managed to knock out very early without damaging him too much. It's the other one that is damaged. So go ahead, roll me damage. Oh, okay, that's pretty decent.
10.
So seeing this man just surprisingly, with luck and with grace, managed to escape both Victoria and a Drake, you find that it's pretty annoying to deal with this kind of peasantry. So you just very casually take out your bow, aim, and then just destroy his kneecap on the other side. So as your arrow just pierces on the bend there, it just comes out the other side and it just falls to the ground screaming.
Well, shouldn't I run?
Yeah. Now the guards on patrol see this and they're like, okay, what the hell is going on? So now people are a little bit more attentive.
Yeah, and Neuron will run up to the guy and just sigh at him. I don't know why people like this run. It never works out for them. So Neuron then gets down to the ground, just snaps the arrow to try pull it out because I'm assuming it's like straight through his leg right now.
Oh yeah, the arrow is like perfectly halfway through.
Yeah, so I snap the arrow and just pull it out and quickly get some bandages out. Just bandage it up.
Alright.
We don't want you to die on us, do we?
He doesn't reply and just looks at his knee.
Yeah, I'll also cast a quick good. I'll cast Good Berry and give him one. Yeah, chew on this. This will help with the pain. He gains 1 HP. So he's less in pain now.
It's more like a numbing berry.
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
He's confused, but gives you a small nod and tries to walk, but yeah, busted knee is gonna prevent you from doing that.
Yeah.
And after you give him the berry, you guys hear a voice coming from the second floor. Very familiar, as you heard his voice not long ago. Just, and what the hell is going on here? You all look up and see it is the captain. He's both his hands kind of on the railing looking down at you guys and the commotion that you have caused.
Terrible apologies for the early commotion. We only meant to drag some of the ruffians that we managed to secure ourselves instead of, you know, killing them off. One seems to have been having a little bit more fight in them than expected. Again, apologies for the early commotion.
Kind of gives you like a glance before just walking back into his office, kind of like gesturing to you all to come.
Yanni will order Victoria to pick up the guy again, and he himself will like follow and like tie his hands and his feet together with some hempen rope.
All right. Victoria moves, picks him up, kind of like a sort of bag of potatoes, just kind of puts him over his shoulder or over her shoulder, just so that if there was a chance, he's gonna have to be very slippery. Just a reassurance, and you do tie the feet. I'm assuming after that, all of you are just going to stroll up to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yep.
Cool. You all make your way to his office, the barrels floating. One conscious, one unconscious, red renegades in your grasp. And you open the door to see the captain just waiting expectingly. His hands kind of curled together, the fingers. Just looks at all of you, just, alright. So what have you done now?
Well, to put it simply, we uncovered a bit of a plot that was starving the city slowly but surely out of its resources through its ports, set in motion by the Red Renegades organization in cahoots with one of your more prominent merchants here in the city, albeit a very shady one, known as Mike. We delved into the sewers after them, dispatched of the Red Renegades as well as this merchant, and a chain of troll that they had. I can give the proper coordinates for well, the bodies if you wish to collect all of them. And these are the last remaining live ones that you might wish to interrogate, incarcerate, whatever have you.
He kind of gives you a sideway glance as he thinks for a bit, and it's just. And you are accusing these men of being a part of the Red Renegades?
Exactly right.
Do you have any proof?
Just like pauses a little bit.
We did interrogate a couple of them.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we're not too terribly familiar with these lands themselves, so any sort of iconography or distinct way that these people recognize themselves between themselves as the Red Renegades would be outside of our purview. This is why we brought two of them back so that you could interrogate them.
If you want proof, or at least symbol that at least this shopkeeper Mike was involved, I do have a few documents with the Red Renegade symbol all over that we got from his shop.
Do you have said documents with you?
Yeah. Una would have collected those once she knew that Mike was taken care of on the way out.
Alright. So you are you gonna hand him all of them or just a few?
Just the couple documents that she saw with those symbols on it.
Alright. So you hand him the ones more specifically with the symbols as he takes them. Takes a bit of time to read over them. After a while, he just kind of sighs and just thinks to himself. Before eventually looking up at all of you and just, well, I cannot stress how much of a favor you have done for the city. Taking out a Red Renegade post that we didn't even know about. I cannot express how grateful I am to all of you. And if there is anything I can do for you, just please tell me.
You can build the Great Cola, another statue.
Another one? There are multiple statues of Cola already?
Foolish mortal! Of course someone as great as Cola could not be unnoticed. Of course have statues around the world. I'm sure that if you were to travel to, you would see statues depicting great deeds of the great and magnificent Cola.
You see the captain just kind of look at you, like he kind of like leans over the desk just so he can look at you. It's just, where are these statues?
Oh, I know there was some in a city, but it sank very long time ago. Rest, I don't know.
I will have to ask the king and queen if we could build you a statue. That is a bit of a tall order, but I will try my best to sustain such a weird request.
Well, I might have a easier request for you. There's some kids and an older guardian of them that lives in the sewers. He used to own the shop. Mike was now in. If they could be taken care of, that would be very gracious of you.
We most certainly will do that. You will just have to tell them and invite them back. Granted, not many of my men are willing to go into the sewers, so if you could let those children and that caretaker know that they can return, then I will make sure that they are taken care of.
It would be my pleasure.
And please, if there is anything else, all you need to do is ask.
Well, if I could be so bold, it is probably fairly obvious at this point, considering our record with working towards the bounties and now this, that we are very much interested in making a name for ourselves as fast as possible. Um, so, we've heard that the king and queen, or better to say the royalty of this here kingdom, has been having some issues lately. So we were kind of thinking if you could put a good word in for us to perhaps try our hands at tackling that problem as well.
You are requesting an invitation to see the king and queen.
To the extent that that would be allowed, yes.
I will do my best. I cannot guarantee anything on that firm. Pretty much the only people who have seen the king and queen are, of course, the royal guards and the advisor. Other than that, no one has seen them. So I will do my best to see if I can get you an audience with.
Entirely understandable. Worry not, it's not too much pressure. If it comes to it, we'll just keep solving the issues of the kingdom until they will have to give us an audience, otherwise risk a revolt or something.
Fair enough. Will they, in case they do accept, where will I be able to find your group?
What was the inn called again?
The Twins' Delight.
Yeah,
That was the one.
Yeah, it was something with twin in it. So it was like twin something.
Tisk, 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 you guys.
Not taking notes, are we? Alright, well, if I hear anything from them, I will send a messenger to the Twins Delight. Now, you can leave these two men. I will have some of my guards take care of them. We will interrogate them thoroughly, find out anything that the Red Renegades have planned for the city, if these grunts know anything. And I will also keep you updated on that side. Again, thank you for all the hard work that you've done. I think it is appropriate that you do relax or spend a bit of time figuring out your next, if of course you have one.
Well, for now, I think we can just, solve a few more problems here and there. Wait for this audience with the king and queen, maybe.
Speaking of which, maybe we'll take a look at that bounty board on our way out.
Very well. Were you going to say something, Yuna?
Yes, I'm all for getting a new bounty to chase. But But we should also be mindful about perhaps checking back in with the mysterious person on the other end of the sending stone.
Yes. Let me
And I
get
think
the
it
name
should
of
be
it.
Ninarin who should be doing doing that call this time
Yeah,
instead of Cola. No offense to the great Cola.
we do need to find things out about the Strogos. Or Drogos, something like that.
Yeah, Drogos.
Drogos, yeah.
But yes, let's see what the bounty board has in the meantime.
Very well. Good luck with your bounties, and hopefully you rack in more coins and solve a few more problems for the city.
Well, here's to hoping that you won't be losing these two bandits, because it would be really bad if you did.
Well, couldn't be that easy. One of them doesn't have a leg. One of them has an arrow through the other. One of them has an arrow through the leg. The other one, fairly uninjured, but he shouldn't be too difficult.
Would be
Don't worry.
surprised what people without limbs can do, and he like he shakes one of his prosthetics.
You're able to like kind of quickly glance over at the captain as you just see like a small shiver just come from him, just like, ugh. Can't get over the fact of what you are.
To be fair, Yanni, I think you're more of the exception to the rule.
Just shrugs his shoulders as he begins to make his way out of the room. As I am an exception to most rules, but you know.
Alright. So you all, after just leaving the two bandits there, two guards quickly take your place as they kind of just pick them up and drag them away. A few more come with weapons drawn, just in case the Red Renegades get any funny ideas. And they are promptly taken away into a different kind of corridor where when the door opens, you see it just goes down for a bit. And as you make your way out to the bounty board, Jeff sadly has not woken up and isn't there, but you do see that there are a few more bounties. One of them is a missing cat report. A poor citizen asking if anyone has seen the cat and will pay 5 silver pieces if said cat is found. Ooh, now I need to think on the fly.
Hopefully, not gonna find the fly.
Yes. You do see another one that is asking help on a construction business, as the details read that all the owner wants is help building a wall on their property. Their name is there as well as the amount they will pay per hour. A very strange request, one that you wouldn't really expect to be up there. One saying, steal a dragon egg. Barely any information is given there. And there's like a very weird kind of sigil on the bottom left corner of this bounty. It does give like a sort of number, which you assume is sort of the reward for this bounty. But other than that, all it just says is steal a dragon egg. No details on where or when or how or why. It's just that. Very, very weird. Won't lie. And the final one is capturing a treasonous renegade. I think that is how you call them, renegades. Nah.
Traitor?
Yes, a traitor. Thank you. Ah,
You're welcome.
finding and
Catch up
capturing.
next to a traitor.
Yeah. Finding and capturing a traitor of the god who has escaped and run off somewhere in the city and is at large. It does say that he has killed 2 other gods, and so he is wanted dead or alive.
Armed and dangerous, I'm assuming, is written on it.
Yes.
Does the description that I'm assuming follows this individual match with anyone that we thrashed thoroughly in the sewers?
No, it does. From actually, make me a history check because there were a lot of faces in that.
That's very fair. Nice.
What is up with our rolls? Yeah, there were far too many faces. Most of them were covered. It was a dark environment. There was no ways that you would be able to recognize or even be able to identify any of their faces other than Mike. And sadly, the description of this god's face does not ring a bell for any other god that you might have possibly seen in the past.
So we've got a manhunt, steel dragon egg. What was the first one?
Lost cat and health for construction work.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we can take the manhunt one, see if we find any clues along the way. May as well look into it if we pick up anything.
As I'm assuming, Nirin picks up the like sheet of paper or parchment or whatever that holds the bounty for that. Yanni will pick up the lost cat one in the construction work. All right,
Alright.
and he'll like motion over for the homunculus to fly back down from the window as it was like looking inside the room all along. He'll like extend the lost cat bounty, point to it. It's like, off you go, off you go. It's just a cat. I think your bird's eye view is more than enough.
Alright. Your homunculus takes a second to kind of look at the description because as well as having a handwritten like description of the cat, there's also like a very crude drawing of it. One that
Mhm.
looks like a sort of toddler had attempted to recreate the cat in drawing.
Mhm.
And so your homunculus kind of focuses more on that image before just flying off into the sky, searching for this lost cat.
Okay. And as he tucks away the bounty for the cat, he'll show the 3 puppets the construction work bounty. I think he can take some just regular indications from and pointers from the ones that require help with physical activity and just dragging things around. You've been around me for a good while and helped me with my work, so uh, hmm, I don't know if they would understand your lack of speech. I think you can have this. And he like pushes the piece of parchment to Isabel. Go to the address and just hand over the paper and present yourself as willing to work.
You kind of see Isabel's arm just kind of like shoot out to the side before just smacking her chest to like pin the paper to it. And eventually, like, the fingers start fumbling to like, get the corners or the edges of the paper before finally getting it and just tilts the head to the side.
Come now. Do you just want to party after this whole thing? You gotta earn your keep, ladies.
Her head kind of just straightens and just gives a very, very shaky and unstable, like, no. Well, yeah, shake. Yeah. It's a nod and a shake.
Yeah,
But
shake it.
shake can mean so many things, damn. Anyways. And all three of your servants just kind of look at the paper, trying to figure out the address. Eventually, they notice the map and, like, kind of a very dark spot where just a bunch of ink was put onto the map. And they just start walking to that direction in unison.
Hope they're gonna do fine.
I hope the business or the owner is gonna be fine. Alright.
Like, kind of looks over at Victoria, ponders if he should send her with them, decides against it.
Alright.
As the last thing that Yanni would do at the garrison, he will tell his familiar to post itself, like, somewhere around the garrison to keep an eye out for any potential like guards that were bought and would perhaps let the bandits escape. Just having a lookout, like a crow wouldn't really drag too much attention. So yeah,
So you're going to like do a stakeout during the day?
just leaving the familiar there. We were just going to be
Ah.
leaving, so he's just like having an eye over on the garrison whenever he'd like want.
Alright. So you're leaving Victoria there, right?
No, the Raven familiar from the Find Familiar spell.
Oh yes. I forgot. You and all of your shit. Alright.
Any summons.
Yeah.
Literally, and a lot of summons. Okay.
Can make an entire one shot for it.
Yeah, we could. We could literally just go back and discover your story. I mean, like, damn. Alright. So you send your raven out. There is a tree in the courtyard that is able to kind of like fly in. There aren't many leaves, but the amount of branches there do still give it like kind of a natural cover, as well as allowing it to kind of fit in. There are a few other birds, not crows, but other birds. So it kind of just tries to blend in as much as possible. From the tree, it does have a very good view of pretty much the entire barracks. So I think the raven has found a pretty decent spot in case it catches any unusual guards.
Perfect.
Alright. That's the bot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy trying to make it work.
Alright.
There you go. I think it's working now.
With all that, what would you guys like to do?
Right. Well, Neuron has to go see those kids real quick. Let them know that they are welcome at the garrison.
Alright. Yuna, Kola, and Yanni? You just going to follow him, or you guys going to do your own thing?
Hmm. Uh, Sure. We're gonna follow in. Why not? Oh, no. Fuck. Yenny has that spell that, like, carries the fucking, barrels of wine. So, he'll probably make his way to the Twins' Delight to drop off their merchandise.
Alright. And of course, Yuna, you're going to follow him, right?
Of course.
Cool. And Kola, just need to know what you are going to do.
Cool, why don't you come with me? The kids will love you.
The great Cola has decided to fly around the city and look for the cat.
Oh. Alrighty.
Okay.
So you all part ways. One heading in one direction. Yep. So Kola, actually, let me decide who am I going to start with first. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with Kola because you are immediate. So while the rest of you start walking to your respective destinations, Kola, you flap your wings and start flying up, kind of just scanning the city, trying to find a small feline, ginger with kind of brown stripes. I'm gonna need you to make me a perception check, please.
Doo-doo!
These rolls! What is happening?
I think not now, but next time I think we are gonna like go out. Maybe we should go out like buy 2 lottery tickets, and one of them is
one
gonna
is
have.
going to have no numbers, and the other one will have, like, all the numbers, right?
Yep.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna say that Kola, you kind of like fly up next to Yanni's homunculus, and you kind of like take it as a competition. But of course, how can this small, pathetic beast outplay or outseek the great Kola? And all you pretty much do is just look to the left, and then there, sitting on a crate, is a ginger cat with brown stripes. And you're pretty sure that it is the cat, as in the descriptions they did say that the left ear does have like a kind of scar that kind of chips away at a bit of it. And you see that on this cat's left ear there is a scar. Alright, so am I right, you're just gonna fly down? Actually, are you gonna like kind of scoop this cat up like it is prey?
Of course. Of course. The descent down. Grab it. Careful not to rupture it or damage it. Because I can't recall if there was anything about it. If they accepted damage good. And just fly to where the recipient said they were, or turn it in.
Alright, so you kind of dive down and just very, very gracefully just snatch the cat up and start making your way to where you believe the owner of said cat is. I am gonna need you to make me an animal handling check. Okay, I was so close to a nat 20 as well. Damn. Okay, yeah. With your sudden kind of grab of the cat is startled and just kind of almost tries and twists itself out of your grip. But with your talons, you're pretty much able to kind of lock it in place. And just very, very firmly make sure that the cat isn't able to kind of spin around in your grip and just start attacking you. So you're able to keep it as it is and make it to the owner's place with little to no trouble coming from the cat. You fly down, you pretty much land on the sort of walkway to the house where you see a fairly old woman just kind of light up with joy as she sees the cat in your hands. You let go and it just runs off into the house. As the woman walks up to you, she's like, "Oh, thank you, my dear. You were able to find Mr. Ginge."
Of course, the great Cola was able to find. After all, it is a job for those in a high place to look up for those beneath them.
Oh my, what a gentleman you are. I, She kind of just very shakily, very like slowly, just kind of reaches down to a small pouch you see on the side, pulls it up, and just again, her arm is like pretty much shaking as if there was an earthquake, and just kind of offers you the small bag. It's like, thank you, my dear.
Well, have a nice day and make sure to let me know in next.
I will do so. I'm assuming you take the bag of coins and fly off.
Nah, gonna trust the old lady and just flap, 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 fly off.
As you fly away, you just hear her say, "Oh, what a gentleman." Starts making her way back into her home. Alrighty.
Like Superman or something, or Super Owl. My job here is done. Goodbye.
I'm Owlman! At least I'm not the one with the bad nipples. Bad critic. And yes, I actually saw that movie yesterday.
Oh, that was such a good but such a horrible movie.
I know, I love it every time I see it because I can sit and watch it with other people.
That's why it's so good. Alright. Moving on, we'll go to Ninarin. Ninarin. You're able to pretty swiftly make your way to the sewers as you have visited there more than once now. And pretty much at the entrance, as you climb down the bridge, get there, you see one of the kids just kind of poke their heads out at you. Just kind of looking at you with a little bit of joy in their eyes.
I give a small wave and look down to Scarla. Try to be a little cute for them.
Try and be a little cute to them.
Yes. For them.
Okay, not sure how a drake is supposed to be cute, but I'll I'll try. Hearing your words, Scarlet just kind of walks by you for a bit before just scurrying up your leg and just kind of wrapping around your neck, or just nuzzling its head against your neck.
Yeah, I suppose that'll do.
Best you can do.
Yeah, Neuron makes his way down the embankment of the under the bridge, I guess. And says hi to the little kid.
Kid kind of like excitedly says hi back and just kind of runs into where the others are. Almost as like a preemptive warning.
Yeah. Yeah, Neuron will make his way, slowly walk in behind her.
Alright. You get to the familiar chamber where the old man is with all 5 of the kids. As the kids seem pretty happy to see you, as well as the old man.
Yeah, I give them all a big hug. Give them a few goodies, I'm sure. Noran would have bought a few things on his way there and let Scarlet play with them as he makes his way towards the caregiver.
I'm gonna need you. How good of a quality of things would you have bought? Just like fresh items, or
Just like some fruits, some very basic fruits and stuff.
all right? In that case, I'll say just remove like 10 copper from.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Remove 1 silver. There you go.
So some of the kids just immediately go for a few of the fruit and start eating, while 2 others, as Scarlet jumps down, starts chasing her, as they kind of just giggle and run around. And the old man, or the old orc, looks at you. It's just, my friend, you have been so kind to us. But
I think it's the least I can do.
well, it seems to me that your kindness knows no end.
I do have some good news though. Mike has been finally dealt with.
You see him
Yeah.
just kind of like absorb that information for a bit.
But also organized with the garrison. If you go to them right now, they'll welcome you with open arms and help you get yourselves onto your feet.
You serious?
I most definitely am.
It's at this moment that you can tell that he's pretty speechless, like pretty flabbergasted from this news, as tears do start to kind of like well up in the corners of his eyes. It's just, I cannot repay your kindness. He is struggling to find the words.
Please, no words are needed. I've done this just for you. For you, I have no other motive behind this.
Look, there has to be some way that I can repay your kindness. Please, anything I could offer. Just say, it isn't right for me to receive such kindness and not be able to give it back.
When people ask how you were saved from this place, just tell them the Mythfits helped you out. That's all we need.
I will do that, and I will do more. If I have to write songs about you, I will. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Aaron takes him by the hand, gives him a nice firm handshake, then goes into a full hug just to write it home. He then begins to make his way out.
All right.
Waves to the kids.
They all wave back saying, "Bye, mister." And as you make your way out, you notice that something is missing.
Oh, what's missing?
You look back into sort of the entrance of the sewer, and you just see Scarlet just kind of like dashing towards you with two kids chasing her. She just kind of like jumps up, latches onto your chest, and just crawls behind your back. All right.
All right, yeah.
I've
Scarlet
think
laughs.
of-
Naren laughs about it. Even you can be such a grump, and just gives him a little scratch underneath the chin, and waves again at the kids.
Oh, wholesome. Just wholesome. Alrighty.
Naren's a wholesome guy.
Until he fires a crossbow at you.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, until he fires an arrow at you. Alright. Moving on. Let me just do a few admin things. Perfect. Alright. Yanni and Yuna. You both take a sort of leisurely walk. As you've got the time, the spell is going to last for a pretty long time. As you make your way to the Twins Delight, you walk in. Ah, I need to remember this guy's name. Ah, yes. You see Aplastine. I believe that's how you pronounce it. See Aplastine just kind of waiting for you at the door. Kind of gives you a nod. Just pretty much invites you guys inside while looking at the barrels with like a sort of tilted head.
Hello. I hope your stay at the Twins Delight has been, well, a delight so far.
He he gives you sort of like a gesture, just like kind of shaking the head back and forth, like also using the hands as like a sort of weighing scales, like just kind of saying like, yeah, it's nice, but standing guard isn't. 'Cause you get the feeling that's what he was tasked with doing, like being the bouncer of the place.
Ah, buddy. Well, here's to hoping that at least some of this wine makes its way to you so that it will make your guard duty more entertaining, yeah?
Looks pretty excited about that idea. And just as you say that, you see kind of, oh, yeah, La just kind of walk up to the front counter. She looks at you, has a smile, kind of looks past you, sees the barrels, and just is shocked. Just, is is that that
Yep.
can't no
All yours.
that can't be. You literally just see her just kind of like jump over the counter and just walk up to you guys. Is this the
Like,
yeah?
shift the disc, like take a step back and like basically like kind of like present the thing. Like, ta-da!
This is the wine that we ordered, isn't it?
Exactly. All custody of good old Mike.
You telling me that dickhead had it?
Yes, all along. As well as, working with some of the red renegades around to run a little bit of a, underhanded means of stealing away the supplies from most of the shops around town. Managed to secure this while also dealing with that problem.
Oh my gosh, were you hurt at all? Are you okay? That sounds terrifying to deal with.
Been better, been worse. He's like kind of rather worse for wear himself, but definitely looks. It's kind of like hard to tell with the touch work bits. You would be able to tell when somebody made entirely of flesh would be roughed up, but with the splinters and some of the bent metal bits of his limbs, it's kind of difficult.
Hmm.
But it has been a rather eventful night. Ah, we can only hope that this will make it all the more sweeter to you.
Well, I think we'll put this wine to use right away. Uh, La, she kind of just like screams over the tavern, but there isn't really a reply as the band that is playing is a bit loud. Just, would you mind walking those barrels to La? Just, I know she's going to freak out.
That shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Lo just kind of eagerly follows you guys, or more specifically, follows the barrels. Not really you, as am I right? The disc is still floating, like relatively close behind you.
Yeah, I think it can't like leave a radius of 10 feet behind the caster, so it's like relatively close by.
Hmm. All right. Oh, I haven't seen these characters in so long. I need to remember their names. Ah, yes, all sorted. Ah, I was right. It was Atlastine. Cool. So as you make your way, the sort of not really busy, but kind of full tavern. You make your way to the sort of main bar area where you see La just dealing with Roki, Seth, and Francis, just chatting to them. She kind of just looks over to you. Pretty much the same thing with Lo happens. She delighted to see you guys and then looks past and sees the barrels and just absolutely loses it. And she just drops the kind of bottle that she was holding. It just smashes on the floor and just pushes Seth and Francis out of the way as she just runs to the barrel. Opens up the lid with a pretty significant force, as you just see. It's like kind of like a barbarian just ripping off like a piece of armor and just starts smelling the wine. She's like, oh, it's thank goodness. Oh, where did you guys find this? Where did you find it? Where did you find it? Where did you find it?
Mike's basement. Hideaway.
Oh, I'm gonna kill that.
Beat
I'm
you
gonna
to it.
Yeah, that bridge has already been crossed, I'm afraid.
I see. Well, it seems Mike has escaped my wrath. The lucky son of a bitch. Kind of more pissed now than excited about the wine, but still has that kind of like energetic feel about her.
Well, let us not let the escape of Mike into death sour tonight. Well, early morning now. uh, the mood. Let's focus on the good bits and celebrate, right?
Oh yes, we are going to celebrate tonight. Well, today. Yeah, today. It, yeah. You see it just kind of like stumbling on her words as she's still just trying to process the fact that you have her wine, a batch that was relatively expensive. She's like, okay, well, first things first, just put that down in the corner. I will get you guys something to drink right away. Rushes over to the bar.
Don't have to tell me twice. And the disc like kind of hover downwards, and as yeah, he like claps his mechanical hands together, the disc will like slowly vanish, and like the barrels will rest on the ground.
All right. After you do that, Lo just kind of walks up to you, gives you a hug before realizing that she does have work to do. So just kind of very awkwardly walks away.
Like blinks. Okay.
Oh, well, that just happened. All right.
Well, oh, evening was rather eventful. What about you lot?
We drank. This is Roki speaking, by the way. We drank. We planned. We slept. We ate. And we planned some more.
Oh, that's double the planning. Care to fill us in?
Well, from the chit chatter that we were able to hear in the tavern, you guys have actually done a decent job on getting your reputation up. I mean, a sandworm, ooh, that's some dangerous business from what the people are saying. And now, with your involvement of Mike, I'm sure people are going to be talking some more. But tell me, what has happened with this Mike? I need to know the details. You know how it goes.
Oh, yes, yes, it will be. It's definitely a pleasure to share in the spoils of war, as well as the tall tales of Misfits' adventures in the sewer. And just to
I
skip things through, I think Yanni would give a proper recount of the events in the sewers.
you just kind of after telling your whole story, she just looks at you. She's like, "So Mike was involved with the Red Renegade. That's
Indeed,
what."
he was.
And they had a troll locked up in the basement of a store which used to be an orphanage.
Yeah, you are paying attention. I'm very glad to hear that.
Kind of gives you a deadpan look, like, of course I'm paying attention, dumbass. Okay, well, did you find anything interesting about the Red Renegades? That could be another target for us among the other targets of things that we need to do.
I think, did we like interrogate the first bandit that we captured?
You did, yes.
He told us of like a location that is supposedly like having a outpost or gathering of these red renegades in some ravine or something.
Yes. You are able to recall that when you interrogated this bandit, he did like kind of tell you that he wasn't always stationed here, but he actually came from another place in the sort of a oh, I need to remember the names of this. I am so out of it right now. Anyways, that there was an outpost in the canyons where it was a pretty large operation, but also small enough to avoid any eye contact of any sort of persons traveling through said cavern, like canyons. But from what I can remember, he didn't say anything about that being sort of the main base or the main base of operations for the Red Renegades.
Hmm.
Okay, so there's a thieves guild or a crime syndicate, whatever we're going to call them. I'm not calling them Red Renegades, that name sounds stupid. But there's a crime syndicate out in the canyons where there is barely any civilization, and it's just a place of giant rock. That that is what I'm gathering from your interrogation.
More or less. We didn't mention that part to the captain of the guards. We forgot. Uh, but it might be a good prospect to try and raid out the place, or I don't know, combat these outlaws. Might give us some more of a grip. Thing is, we did bring up the matter of a potential what was it called? Meeting with royalty. If our service for the city is deemed enough, but if not, then we can potentially pursue this avenue and trying to combat the Red Renegades even further. Very good point. Very good point.
I will agree with you, that is a good idea, but considering the state of the other events in the world, I'm pretty sure a crime syndicate is the least of the worries. But if push comes to shove, and if they play their cards wrong, we will certainly take the opportunity and figure a way to deal with it. But for now, we have too little information on when, where, and how we're going to strike these guys. And so I will say the best thing we can do about the Red Renegades is to keep our eyes and ears open. If we move to another city, we just need to make sure that we find any small outposts, deal with them as quickly as possible and as efficiently, as well as gathering as much information as possible. On the other hand, I do think you should have kept one of those prisoners of yours for us. But I'm sure the gods of this beautiful yet dry city can handle it.
Yeah, he kind of like shrugs his shoulders. Eh, that is a fair point, yes, but it would have probably stirred some suspicion if we were found out of housing one of these red renegades, even if we would be keeping them for interrogation and whatever other purposes we might have with them. It would still have the potential of being a dampering factor on our reputation.
It only dampers when people assume the wrong thing. I'm pretty sure we could have easily manipulated the minds of these taverns to believe what we want them to believe. I mean, a few horns veil, and they'll believe anything you say.
And like tilts his head to the side like a naturally so, like a 90-degree thing. Ah, considering our presentation, and he kind of like points at himself and his puppet bits. I don't think there would be a lot that would take for people to jump to conclusions really quickly. So, better safe than sorry, yeah?
Fair point, fair point. So you could have gotten a makeover. Kind of like smirks as she says that.
And that he just detaches one of his arms. Right, a makeover. Sure, grow me another hand, will you?
Not like that. Like Aplastine. He was a regular old rusty buckets of Warforged, and we decided to jewel him up with some gold. Well, not gold, but it looks like gold.
He just like reattaches his arm. I will not have my work tampered with and gilded to appeal to the masses by adding unnecessary bits. Thank you very much.
Suit yourself. So the king and queen, you are expecting to hear from them soon? Did the captain say how long you would expect a notification, or
Not really. It has been left kind of up in the air. We thought we would continue doing what we did so far in the hopes that, well, if worst comes to worst, we are denied our invitation. Um, we will continue doing good work and eventually be granted this audience. Or if it turns out well, then we will be called whenever the captain manages to follow through with his promise.
it's at this point that Seth steps in as he first takes like a sip of water. No, no alcohol for this man. As he just kind of thinks out loud. Yeah, I don't think the king and queen will deny your request. I mean, as much as defeating a sandworm is a big achievement, getting rid of the red renegades from the city is arguably a bigger achievement. So your little stunt with Mike might have done the trick.
Hmm. No, that is very much reassuring. We can. Hmm. And that kind of thinks to himself and looks over at his sister and especially like the little bag of holding that she's carrying around. Um, and we might as well start working on developing the cure that we are hoping to achieve. Hmm.
Developing a cure for a disease that you don't even know.
Well, you gotta start somewhere. I mean, he just like kind of tilts his head to the side again, but on the opposite side of his body. I did manage to craft some basic remedies back at the pyramid, but it's not my specialty, so I'll need to at least get the ball rolling. Even if I don't know the particular disease, I can still start with the basics.
Very well. I'm pretty sure that. Oh no. I'm pretty sure that Exusia has set up herself a little work area somewhere in the back rooms. I don't know where. If you want, you can ask her and she'll show you the way.
Duly noted.
Alright. I do think with that we're going to take a quick break. My coffee supply has run out. Alright, so I'll see you guys in a bit.
Awesome. Where? So what is the next arc for this merry crew?
That's a good question. I think it still kind of depends when we would get the summons.
Hmm.
But in the meantime, either we tackle the manhunt, um, reach out to people, like get the orphans and the orc established in Mike's shop, and get them actually owning that shop and how to actually sell things, and build our own fucking franchise. Or we could start all like kind of working again towards this cure, but I don't know how Helgon would rule out these things. Like, would this be like a preparatory phase that would grant us some degree of bonuses later on when we work on the remedy itself, or if it's just a waste of time? It's
Yeah.
up to the DM to interpret.
We're what? How many sessions in are we now? We're like, I imagine about 10 or so, like maybe 13 or something like that.
I think this is session 11. If the countdown for the number for our streams.
So
Like
11 sessions in, and we're already commercializing.
yeah. I mean, hey, that's basically the premise that we started with on the campaign, like making an
Yeah, pretty much.
actual kingdom for ourselves. So that falls
And
in
for
line.
that, we need money.
Lots of money. Oh, and we also need to contact the guy on the sending stone thing. Maybe we can start working on that some way.
Yeah.
Maybe that could like provide some prospects that we are unaware of. But
Yeah, he was like Drago or something. What's his name again? Dragos.
hmm.
The Prince of Neorzia. Yeah, that's it. No, sorry, Naelorus. Naelorus, yeah. I was thinking of a different kingdom.
Yeah, at least the way I see it, three separate avenues that we could follow while waiting for the summons, with a fourth potential one with this prince.
Yeah. Well, the Sending Stone Prince thing can only be done pretty much once a day in the evening. So I mean that's pretty easy to do while we're between jobs. So yeah, the Mad Hunt I guess we could probably start doing. I'm down for Mad Hunt.
Mm-hmm. What does the Great Cola think?
Head empty, clearly.
Had empty no thoughts.
Head empty, only cola.
No. Balances? Any opinions? Any preference? Man, I think we might be the only ones that were left behind. And everyone just took a break and were like, yeah, we're gonna stick around. Sure. That's cool. That's cool.
There's always those players.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I finally have a direction for Narayan's character. I've been working through like what am I going to do with Narayan, because he doesn't really have huge goals at the moment, and I'm like, orphans. That's the answer. Bringing up the standard of living for everybody.
That's a good goal to have.
Hmm.
At least until we eventually leave this kingdom.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will be soon.
Oof.
Yeah, just went to the bathroom before everybody's back. One second.
Yeah. If all goes to plan, you should leave this kingdom in 2 to 3 sessions.
Ooh.
If all goes. Not
Which
saying that
usually
it will.
doesn't.
Well, so far you guys haven't kind of like gone or derailed
Too
campaign.
much.
Yeah, not too much. There were 1 or 2 things here and there that I was like, okay, I need to think on the fly now. But other than that, not really. So,
Might be one of them.
oh yeah, definitely. Mike was definitely a very small detour.
Fun detail.
Fun and opened up more of the world, so better, I guess.
There's also the what is it? I think there was like Red Renegade outpost or something in those canyons or whatever.
Yeah, I do clearly remember that. Don't worry.
We got so much. So we've got a few directions to go now. We just have to choose which one to commit to.
I'm hoping by the time you guys are done with the next sort of big task, you will be sort of given like the direction. Of course, you can still choose what you want to do, but hopefully it will be given. I just need to finalize that a little bit more. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes before I start again.
Cool beans.
Mm-hmm. think that's all of us.
Okay, everybody's yeah then.
Alrighty. Curler, you are back, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, Minoran, it does take you a little bit, but you do find a sort of bathhouse. It's not really like an extremely fancy place, but you do get the feeling that not many of the lower income families use this, as it's relatively empty, aside from 3 to 4 other patrons busy using the bath.
Awesome.
Hmm.
And Aaron also used some herbs he has stored in his bag just to make it smell a bit better.
So a proper bath then. Alright.
Oh yeah, he's got the good shit.
Alright, so I'll say you spend about half an hour. Sounds right. Washing off all the grime and the grease that you have built up over the past few days. As for Cola, I am assuming you're flying back to the Twins Delight just to meet up with everyone else.
Yep.
Cool. Yana, you were shown where Exusia had her sort of small and somewhat temporary alchemy setup in the back rooms that she was more than happy allowing you to use. But by the time that Kola and Ninoran had gotten back, am I right, Kola, you're the one with the sending stone?
I don't think so.
Who is the one with the sending stone?
I'm the one with the saving stone.
Yeah, Kola is the one who used it first, but once we realized that there was a particular link, possibly, to Ninaran, we gave it to him to use
Yeah.
that time.
Alright. So, Ninaran, as you walk into the tavern, you kind of find. Actually, let me. Yeah. You kind of find everyone doing their respective things. You find the archaeologists, some of them doing work, some of them chilling by the bars. But you do find everyone in a group. And pretty much as soon as you walk up to everyone, I don't know where you guys want to sit. If you want to just leave it then. Pretty much
Yeah.
as.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's just grab a random table. I think the one on the left is our normal one.
Yeah, we have a regular table.
Alright then. Pretty much as soon as you get to the table, you hear a voice coming from your bag.
Oh, grab it.
As you grab it, it's sort of midway in the sentence. At first it was muffled, but you could still make it out saying, I don't have many questions, Cola, but I will ask where you are.
City again. I can't remember.
His name was Drogos.
No, Drogus, what city are we currently in? I know it's a port city, I can't remember what its name though.
Yeah, I know. I'm also struggling with the name. Hold on. Let me just quickly look. It's the pronunciation of the names that hits me the worst. Doreen.
Green, okay.
Yeah.
So he's asking where we are. Okay, cool. So, Naren hears this. puts the stone on the table. Evening, Drogos. We are the Mythfits in the city of... What city are we in? I can't remember the name.
Dareen.
The city of Dareen. So, clearing words.
That's under the limit.
My name is Niorn Whiteleaf of the Naylor's Kingdom. 25 words. Yeah, cool. I think that's 25 words.
That is actually well done.
Yeah, perfect. Cool.
All right.
As I say that, I said to everybody else, seems to contact us before we could contact them. Yeah, he didn't put the you can respond to this message in part.
All right. So you're all now sitting in a somewhat busy tavern. It's still relatively early. There aren't that many patrons. There's music going about. Nice, calm, relaxing music. So the question is, what will you all do? As of right now, one bounty is finished, another one is being completed, and the final one still left unattended.
By the way, Neuron smells like lilac.
Yuna is going to pull out the bag of holding and start just gonna dig out that spell book that she picked up earlier off of that one spellcaster and slide it along the table towards her brother. Yanni, I do believe you would get the most use out of this.
Oh, very much so, dear sister. Make good use of this and put it to work for the benefit of the Mythfits.
And aside from a bunch of unknown potions, everything else in here is just a lot of weapons. We could sell these or hoard them for later. I'm not sure.
I'd say we keep them, and regarding the potions, well, I'll take some time with them and identify each. If you'll be so kind as to put them over here, I'll go through each one.
Okay, and she'll dig through the bag of holding to pull out all of the unmarked mysterious potions. And she'll also slide them across the table towards him.
Alright. It's pretty much at that moment you guys get a sort of feeling, like a grumpy energy slowly approaching you. One or two of you kind of just look out into the tavern and you do see Roki coming towards you guys. Pretty much just slams her hands on the table. Just. So what are you lazy fucks doing? You just gonna sit around and wait for something to happen?
Pretty much.
You know, I did feel the atmosphere sour as you approached.
Oh, shame, baby. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Kind of like gives fake baby or like teary eyes. Just oh.
Well, I, for one, am very, very sorry over the fact that you and your crew's sorry asses just stayed here and drank away your night while we saved the kingdom and managed to earn ourselves an audience with the king and queen. Why have you come to bother us? Is it boredom?
It might be.
Then I suggest you leave. You're breaking my concentration at the moment. I'm trying to identify these.
You could just give them to Exuzia.
I could, but I won't.
Oof. Very well. Just kind of
She felt that backhand.
yes. But she kind of walks away, almost like she won the argument. You know, it just has that kind of energy. Like, yeah, they know I'm the boss, but deep down she's hurting. She's hurting. All right.
Bernard is busy swirling around a glass of wine. So, what are we going to do with that lot?
Well, once we manage to acquire enough of a standing within this particular kingdom and this particular city, they will loosely represent our branch over here. I don't wish to be tied down to this particular kingdom, so they will prove to be the best we can do as our associates here.
Well, if they're willing, we might be able to set them up in that in Mike's old shop with the orphans. Have that create our new base of operations, if they're so willing.
Either that or the pyramid, but I think they might be enjoying the, well, city life more than just that dusty pyramid that they've studied for so long. You did bring up a good point. After I'm done identifying these, maybe we should perhaps see to that manhunt. I believe you mentioned that this might be one of your specialties, Nirin.
Well, I'm good at tracking things down. Can't be so difficult to find some rumors. Probably explore the slums. That's probably one of the better places to hide out from a manhunt. A brilliant place to get rumors.
And like any kind of nods as his concentration is still on the potions in front of him. Alternatively, we could be a bit more proactive, perhaps reach out to Tay, hitch a ride in the desert, and, well, maybe check out this hideout place that the Red Renegades hold. See if we can do something about it.
We can definitely go on an expedition out. I've started learning the how to survive in the desert better.
Do keep in mind that Ninoran, you more specifically, you would know that the area that the Red Renegade that you had interrogated,
Yeah.
the area that he spoke of is pretty much across the other side of the desert. And you are on the opposite side. So that would be quite a long journey if you are willing to go find out more about them.
Mm. So you'd have to get like a proper caravan going.
Mm.
Okay. So let's see. We've got Manhunt, Red Renegades. What other options do we have? Yeah, wait for the audience with the king and queen.
But researching maladies, cures, herbs that are, well, that call the desert their home in order to, well, know what we need to be searching for when hopefully the royalty will uncover their illness to us and allow us to aid with it. Homework of sorts, if you will.
Hmm. Yuna, Cola, you've been quiet. What do you think?
You can do many things. Setting cookies work would be a good thing. I don't think it's good to see.
That's kind of a decent idea. I mean, if she's bored, perhaps we should find something to occupy her time. Give her something else to bitch about.
Well, I guess we can just consider our options and I'll figure out what we'll do in the morning. Because I think we are all due for a nice long rest.
That is certainly true. Spending all night down under Mike's shop. Not exactly the most pleasant place to spend the night.
Down in a reeking sewer. By the way, you guys stink. You really need a bath.
Yes, I'm aware I'll need to do some maintenance and clean up, and myself, my sister, the homunculus as well.
Don't forget Victoria,
And
Alex,
Victoria. And Alex.
and that other doll.
Just saw 3 more pets or whatever. Companions. Constructions? I don't know. Whatever you call them.
Yeah, I think your day is busy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yanni, what are you doing to identify these bottles?
Ritually casting Identify and taking 10 minutes of casting for each.
Cool. And am I right? Yuna, remind me how many unidentified potions of healing, or well, not potions that you find.
I honestly don't recall you giving me a number.
That's the thing. I don't remember. Well, I also don't remember giving you a number. So,
Just roll a dice and see how many there were.
yeah, roll me a d6. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Wow. Yanni, you spend some time casting the spell for each potion, and after each you get a pretty clear view and understanding of what each potion's are and what they do. So the first potion that you identify is a potion of animal friendship. And then you've got a potion of climbing, a potion of giant strength, a potion of invisibility, and last but not least, a potion of water breathing. No, that's 5, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that is 5.
Ah. But don't worry, I've still got one more for you. And then the final one is a potion of poison.
Which kind of potion of giant strength are we talking? Because there's a couple of them.
It is a hill giant. Yeah. Cool. And of course, I am assuming you relay the information to the rest of the group.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Cool. So after all of that, you guys find yourself that you pretty much have the day to yourselves, and after a night of fighting, you do feel sort of weight of exhaustion kind of take over as the twins do guide you again to your respective beds after you have had a bath, because of course they don't want you stinking up their rooms and all of that caretaker business. I'm pretty late in the morning. Majority of you wake up again. A few of the archaeologists are still asleep, whereas others are almost looking like they're busy, but in actual fact, some of them aren't. Aplastein's still guarding the door as if he has never left the spot. Roki kind of sitting down, staring off into the distance. You presume that she is in deep thought. And Seth, he has quite a few books and pieces of paper in front of him on the bar that he is at. But other than that, you don't really see any of the others, as they all seem to be somewhere else. However, there is something interesting that happens this morning. As by the time all of you do get out and up and about, Lo just kind of walks up to you with a tray of food. Some sort of cooked pork with some potatoes, all steamed and all cooked almost to perfection. She places the tray down in front of you and just holds up a note and says, this a guard came in earlier today saying I should give this to you guys. I presume you're expecting it?
Did you look inside by any chance?
No, I did not. I feel like this is private business, as a guard was the one that gave it to me.
All right. I appreciate that privacy is respected.
Did you want me to look in it?
Well, considering your adventurous nature and desire to know of the outside world, or was that your sister? As I kind of tilts his head. Kind of find it hard to tell you two apart at times.
We get that a lot, don't worry. You're correct, I am the one that is more adventurous, but I feel like these are matters not meant for me. So I
All right.
I just hope it's good news.
Oh, hope so too. And I kind of extends his hand to take the letter from her.
She gives it to you and just walks away, doing some morning prep work.
Right, it's either the summons for the royal family or the notice letting us know that the bandits escaped. And he opens the letter.
All right. At the very top of the letter, you do see a sigil of the city guards. So you get the impression that it was written by the captain. And it starts out off to the myth. We are pleased to inform you that the captured renegades that you have brought in yesterday have given us a bit more information. However, I don't think it is much. They told us that they told you about the outpost in the canyons. Not sure if you know that or not, but just informing you. We have received a word from the Majesty. Firstly, Tukola. Unfortunately, they do not believe a statue of a small owl is befitting of the city. I am sorry to bear this news for you.
Sorry, Kola.
As for the invitation, it has been accepted. And King and Queen expect to see you 5 o'clock later today. Sincerely, Captain of the Guard.
Oh man, that is kind of sad. He signs the paper with his position rather than his name. Must be rough for him.
He's not just gonna give strangers his name. Bruh, come on. Alright.
Well, sorry, and he like motion over to the sister that just left. What time is it at the moment?
Oh, yeah, roughly about,
4:50.
eh?
You have about 10 minutes to get there. Go, go, go.
That's about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Much obliged.
is it good news?
Very much good news. We got an audience with royalty.
You see, kind of just like a shocked expression just kind of takes over and just, uh, wow, congratulations.
Well, it's the efforts of hard work being paid off.
Most definitely. Do you want me to get you some of that wine to celebrate?
and kind of looks around at everyone else at the table. I think we might need to be as sober as possible for this, but it is extremely good wine. Could make some publicity for your own establishment and could make for a suitable gift for us to bring.
What an excellent! I will get you a bottle now. She just runs off now.
Don't worry, sweetie, I got your back.
Oh,
Turns around to the rest. Ah, all right. So we have uh, roughly 8 hours to handle this manhunt. Are we confident we could sneak this into our schedule, or should we get dressed up and prepared for the audience itself?
Well, I'm always ready to meet a royalty, as Nora points to what he's currently wearing. It's like very fine, finely crafted armor. It's always neat.
I share in the sentiment. Rather fond of my own outfit and those of the ones that have in my posse.
I don't think Kolo wears pants though.
He most certainly does not. I don't believe that the mighty Cola needs such trivial article of clothing now, does he?
Of course not. Some has a problem. Colas. It's merely that they are so they cannot handle seeing it as Cola. Need to wear one.
I know we have several hours, and it is possible to fit that little manhunting job in there. But I don't know if I feel comfortable trying to tackle that, since there's a lot of unknowns that can happen. And since we have to meet with royalty, I'd rather be well prepared and not having just thrown something together last second after beating up a thug in the streets after hours of searching.
Well, it's always good to just look for leads at least.
And kind of nods. That is a very fair point. We can at least get some leads going, try to do some searching around. No beating up, no getting into the sewers and getting down and dirty just before the meeting with the king. But we could have at least 4-ish hours for ourselves. Would that be enough time to have your preparations done, dear sister?
Of course. Just a little freshening up of the old. This outfit is just a one quick word, but dressing on the outside can only do so much.
I think dear Yuna here wants to pamper herself a bit to meet royalty.
Well, she is our treasured treasurer, after all. All right. Information gathering and shopping spree it is.
Well then, I'll start in the slums. Probably go to a few taverns, see what rumors are floating around. Any other ideas where we could probably search?
We'll follow. I don't think it's worth taking the risks of splitting up our forces, especially after, you know, getting a name for ourselves lately. Before
Well,
we do depart.
we do want to keep at least a little bit of a low profile, and the three of you are the figment of high profile.
Hmm. So he thinks to himself, maybe we could get some cloaks?
That could work.
Or hey, you can take Pokey with you. She's bored.
That
Uh,
sounds like an excellent idea. Maybe getting out to improve her.
Although,
Well-
quite frankly, I don't think anything will improve her mood. But it's worth a shot.
what was her name again? Pokey?
Roki.
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 Roki!
She just kind of like snaps out of her thought and just like looks around a bit before looking at you and just giving you a glare.
Just like, you know, that's the like fingers like waving around. And then motions over for her to join them at the table.
I have a feeling Roki is gonna have a fun day today. She slowly but annoyingly walks up to you. What?
News! You're going to get out of this place and have some fun for a while.
Again, she just looks at you like slightly confused.
Well, you were rather, uh, what was the expression that the lowlives usually use? Oh, butthurt last night about us just sitting on our proverbial asses. So we decided that we are going to do something about it and actually get out there and get some activity going. And we also thought that it might be a good idea that you might accompany us as well. You know, just to make sure that we are all keeping in line and we need a boss to have around, right?
Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Sure thing.
I swear, right now you're using like psychological warfare against her. Alright.
Thank God for that advantage.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
joke.
With that 20, she just kind of looks at you for a bit, then just like looks up at the ceiling, she's like thinking a bit. Just, very well. What are we doing?
We are going on a manhunt. We're going to go to the most terrible place in the city to ask some questions. And you're coming with us.
Well, the slums aren't that terrible, so what other place are you thinking about?
Talking about the worst places in the slums, like the taverns. The most filled with the most criminals.
I see. And that's what you called me for, to help with a manhunt.
Yes, we are aware this is a rather trivial matter for your plethora of skill sets and abilities, as well as strong points and strong suits, but
We were worried that we might not be enough for such a task. So if you would be so much inclined as to bless us with your presence, we would be forever grateful.
You're good at doing research, right? Think this is a hands-on research assignment.
Yes, yes, a field study, if you will.
Exactly.
The sarcasm behind all of that. Yo. She just kind of like gives you a glare, like she knows what you guys are doing, but still knows that she can't like back down now because she already said she would go. Like, very well, lead the way.
Oh, you can need this, and she, Neuron throws a cloak to her.
What do I need a cloak for?
Gotta keep a low profile. You don't want the people to know who you are.
They don't know who I am already.
Don't want them to come here then, do we?
Fine, I'll humor you and all of that bloody stuff. Kind of like just throws the coat on.
Alright, I think it's time to set off.
Alright. You all make your way out. Oh gosh. Alright. She kind of exits the tavern first. And then, thankfully, does not catch wind of Yuna's suggestion. And she just starts heading straight for the slums. I mean, where with you guys, you would need to like kind of ask around, try and find your way, maybe use some visual clues on where it would be. But for her, she knows the route, she knows the path, and she's going straight for the place. And pretty quickly, you guys are able to get to sort of the beginning of the slums. As in order to get there, you actually have to walk outside of the walls and kind of like take a small detour along the walls in order to get there. And right now, you're standing outside of the slum, kind of just looking in as it's a whole crowded mess. People are walking about. There are some animals crossing the road as well. It's much more busy than what you would expect for the slums to be, especially this early in the morning. Well, not early, late. She kind of just turns around and looks at all of you like, well, you're not expecting me to do all the work, are you?
Come on, we only just got you.
Yes, and I can already see where would be a good place to look first.
And where might that be?
And she points to a sort of small crowd of people. Not many that is like blocking your view on what's going on, but still enough to like kind of distort it. But you guys are able to focus in, and you can see it's actually a card game that the people are gathered around. That's where I would look for.
My oh my, what would we do without your bountiful guidance?
I am hating but loving your sarcasm. Alright.
Jesus, esteemed leader, lead the way. We are going to provide as much support as we can.
She just kind of glares at you again and just starts walking towards the crowd.
She's like beginning to walk. You like turn to the rest of the party. Oh, I am enjoying this way too much. And he begins following.
Yeah, Naran will position himself like across the street from the card game and open up his ears, see what news he picks up while he watches this unfold. Good on
And
on the back of his shoulders.
Yes, Yuna?
and Yuna's gonna change her outfit so that she's got a cloak. But more importantly, while they're looking into other stuff, she's looking around for any kind of thieves' cant messages hidden in plain sight that no one else is going to notice or that might be useful.
Alright, alright. I'll get to you both in a moment. So as Roki just walks up, she kind of hovers with the crowd for a bit before just kind of gently pushing her way to the front. She pretends like she's just watching the game, and Kola and Yanni, if you want, you can make me a perception check to see what she does, or you just keeping your eyes on her this whole time, like enjoying the show.
Like a perception check, you said?
Yeah, just make me a basic perception check. All right. So at first glance, Kola, at first glance, it just looks like she is just hovering with the crowd, watching this man do a few tricks with the cards and set them out for others. But on closer inspection, you actually can see that she's actually talking with the person that she is standing next to, kind of like in a hush hush way, as one would spread some rumors about. And it takes her a bit before she turns around and walks back to you guys, and it's just, no, they don't. This bunch don't seem to have noticed anything weird with a guard. They barely see any guards around, and sure as hell would have noticed one if it walked into this area. So far, nothing. Kind of emphasis on the nothing.
Really? I was dead sure that you were right on the spot the moment that you pointed out this place for us. I was so certain that this would be the place that we managed to find our quarry immediately.
Oh, I love the sarcasm. It's so good.
Oh, it's killing me. It's actually killing me. Oh, okay. Well, Yanni and Yuna. Oh no, yeah, sorry. Ninarin and Yuna. I am gonna ask you both to also make me perception checks.
Sure thing.
Here comes the net one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nap one. I'm telling you. Oh, okay, no, it's not nap one. So that's pretty asshole.
Damn, okay. So, Ninarin, as
So many
you're.
nat ones and nat 20s this session. It's amazing.
How many net 20s?
There's so many. Let's see. There's 1, 2,
Four.
3. Yeah, 4 so far, and then 1, 2, 3. 3 nat ones in this session.
This has been a very productive game for dice rolling. That's what I'll say. Alright, so Ninoran, as you kind of pick a spot away from the group and just away from the crowd, sort of like against the wall, you just kind of scan over while keeping an eye on your friends and just trying to find anything out of place. Have you? I would assume that you have like been in a slum before, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely not my first time in rundown areas like this.
Yeah. So you are able to, with your past experience, you kind of know what is expected of the slums. You don't really notice much when it comes to the guard. You do see a lot of the animals running about, some being led by people, others just walking. There's sort of like a goal in mind of where they want to go. You do notice like a few kids here and there actually like pickpocket a few people without them noticing, especially those who look to be doing better, those with a more finer like dress code than the sort of rags and ripped clothing that you are usually seeing. But when it comes to the description of the guard that you remember reading on the bounty, you can't really see any figure or man who resembles that. As there were quite a few people walking about who were just covering their face entirely.
Hmm.
Now, with a nat 20, the current location you are in is almost covered with the thieves' language, especially on the more well-developed buildings that are used for taverns and inns and also stores. All of these signs that you see there are just the code for saying this is a good place to rob, this place has been robbed, this place higher security, maybe something of value, and then just other places just nothing of value at all.
It's the first time I've ever seen thieves can't at work.
With a nat 20, what do you expect? There are a few messages here and there, sort of like drop-off points for like a goods stolen so that it can be processed in the right way so they won't get caught by the law. So you do see a few like locations of where drop-off point would be. You check a few of them. They aren't in use currently. But as for anything that may help with finding the guard, there is one thing that catches your eye, and it's almost a sort of guide of where the thieves sort of hide out. And so to you, it might be possible that this guard has gone to that hideout.
Well, getting all the mental details of that and sidle up next to Naran. A little elbow nudge, then quietly relay the information. Maybe a clue or lead at the nearby, you could call it a safe house. for the low-life criminals might want to check out.
It's a better lead than I found. I've just found random people walking around. Yeah, let's meet up with the rest of the group and let them know what we found.
Indeed.
I think our new friend is having a really bad time with your brother over there.
Yeah, so as you both walk up to Yanni, you can hear the kind of final end of his sarcasm. You can just see the reaction on Roki's face. It's just like absolutely pissed now. She's angry at Yanni specifically. She's looking at you, Yanni, as she just says, "Is there anything else you want to add on your list of compliments?"
Oh, did I forget to mention your captivating beauty? Ugh, it's very much hard to put it into words. But regard, do you think we might have better luck some other place in your boundless inside?
No shit, Sherlock.
Well, then by all means, point us in the right direction, oh revered leader.
Come on, Yanni, cut her some slack. we managed to actually find some stuff.
Okay, I'll cut it back. Fine. Let you off the hook this time. Just like kind of pats her back. Right, what did you find?
Unia found some interesting things. Possible lead to where he may be hidden.
Oh, Roki. Looks like you're going to be seeing probably some combat practice as well.
Oh, goody.
How are you with a sword?
I've had my fair share of fights. Can't say that I'm trained, but I've had my fair share.
Right, then I'll count on you to protect me from whatever bad man could do to this frail caster.
Oh.
Yuna's gonna elbow her brother in the side. All right, Yanni. Take it down a few more notches.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It was a last-ditch effort, death throes, if you will.
Hopefully it won't come down to blades. Hopefully we can just talk this out. Although I doubt it.
Alrighty. So, you continue?
Yeah, point us in the right direction, but now, sarcasm and jokes aside, Roki, if you are not too terribly confident in your combat capabilities, with all due respect, you would be a liability if things would get messy. Would you like to stay behind, or would you still like to follow us?
Oh no, how much you so enjoyed my company. I just cannot leave you behind.
That's the spirit.
She's pretty much staring daggers at you, Yanni.
All right, calling it now. I'm gonna save your life. And he begins walking in the direction that his sister and are pointing.
Well, we know who's not getting end of year Christmas cards. Perhaps a bloody knife in the mail.
Maybe. All right. So, Yuna, after seeing the first sort of pointers, you start following, and you're seeing more leading. You're almost in a sort of zigzag, kind of through the slums. You get the sense that this is on purpose, as to if you are being followed, it's to maybe attempt to get whoever's following you off of your trail. And eventually you just come to a very small, rugged looking tent with four sort of bent sticks keeping up the fabric, and again fabric also like being pulled out, kind of give a sort of folded entrance. It's pretty dark inside, but given am I right, you do have dark vision, you know.
I do not think so.
Ah,
Forge does not have.
okay, I need to keep remembering that. I know I keep asking. I need to remember that. Okay. So, Yuna, to you, given the bright light outside and the pretty thick sort of fabric used for this tent, it's very difficult to see inside until you actually go in. But for everyone else, you can actually see, even though the tent is small, there's actually a small like trap door that the tent is covering. That just leads down. It is open. There is one or two guys in the tent, sort of just having a conversation and trying to act as normal as possible. But Yuna, you being a rogue, you know that these oaks are actually lookouts. So what will you guys do?
So, how many like guards are there? Or
There's only two.
only two.
Yeah, and they're sort of dressed to look like the normal rugged, stained kind of people you've seen walking around.
I might have an idea.
Do share.
Hopefully, I'm persuasive enough with rats. Yeah,
You're
so
engendering.
Neuron is gonna just look around, see if there are any like nearby rats walking past, scurrying about.
Oh, there's tons of them. Granted, you do still have to like look in sort of crevices and areas where they would like kind of peek their heads out, and they wouldn't like run in plain view, but you do see quite a few rats.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Squeak, 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 squeak. Basically, I'm gonna find a random a rat nearby. Put a little bit, tiny bit of food out for it. Let it come a little closer.
It
Yeah. Let me just tell you what Speak with Animals does. It's pretty. Obviously, you can communicate with beasts for the duration of 10 minutes. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by the intelligence, but at a minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you at the GM's discretion.
all right.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're placing like kind of large crumbs of food.
Yeah, just like a little piece of ration, something like that.
So, as soon as you put down like a bit of your ration, you do see like 2 to 3 rats kind of like slowly make their way up to the ration. One or two of them just kind of standing on their hind legs, sniffing the air, eventually getting closer and sniffing the rations before starting to nibble on them.
Yeah, simply just whisper to them, "Hey there, little guys.
They,
Please come out. Food is yours."
as soon as you speak to them, they all look up at you, giving a sort of indication that they can understand you.
So yeah, let them come out and nibble at the food. I'd like to make a deal with any of you, really. Man, I've never thought I'd make a deal with rats. If any of you, any one of you, can go into that building over there, I'll pay you with some more food. And I take out quite a bigger piece of food and hold it out for them. Not handing it to them, just holding it out to let them know this is what they get if they go in there.
Okay. I need to try and prepare a squeaky voice. I haven't done a high pitched voice in so long. I'm probably gonna hurt my throat, but I'll try my best.
You can always go against the stereotype and just have a really deep voice.
Actually, yeah. So with the 3 rats, one of them is a kind of grayish color. It's to the left, and then to the right, you've got a very bright brown. But in the center, you've got a pure black rat with red eyes. It just kind of stands on its hind legs and it's just, what do you want us to do inside?
So the one and red eyes just kind of like slightly possessed by the devil.
It is. Who knows? It might be the end boss. We'll never know.
Listen, yeah, I got a job for you, all right? I need you to go in there. I need you to go in there, have a look around, looking for this guy. Just get out an image of the guy. Looking for a guy that looks like this. If you can go around there, look for him, and come back here, that'll be perfect. Then you get this, and I hold out the little piece of food.
He like just looks at his 2 companions next to him who also have their vision up at you. Just, boys, let's go. They just kind of scurry off into the tent. They don't actually go through the main entrance. They go to the side and just kind of crawl under the carpet into the trapdoor.
Yeah, as they pass, I cast Beast Sense on the one that I was talking to, so I can actually see through its eyes as it's going around.
All right.
So, Beast Sense, basically how it works, you touch a willing beast. For the duration of the spell, you can use an action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you can use your action to return to your normal senses. While perceiving through the beast's senses, you gain the benefits of any special senses possessed by the creature, though you are blinded and deaf into your surroundings.
All right. Okay. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
It's a very weird experience looking through the eyes of a rat. More specifically because of how low it is to the ground. I mean, as it passes you, you are able to see yourself, and you are just enormous, like for your perception, and you just need to take some time to like readjust to this new sort of reality that you're living in.
Mhm.
And as soon as the rat goes down into the trapdoor, it takes a moment, like there's a moment of just pitch darkness before the eyes just quickly adjust. And then it's a small corridor, just going straight. The rat, all the rats just kind of run. The one that talked to you kind of leading the way. On the other end, there is a open wooden door that looks to be reinforced with some, like a sort of sliding mechanism. It's open because there is a person leaving the door, which you do not recognize. It is not the man you're looking for. But inside, you actually see that this underground sort of tavern, that meeting area, almost, is packed with people inside. All of them wearing masks. Well, not all of them. Majority of them wearing masks. All of them are armed. A lot of them mainly with just some daggers and short swords, but you do see some with some bows and crossbows, like some heavy weaponry. As the rats just kind of scurry about. One goes behind a bar. Unfortunately, it's not the one that you see. Another one just kind of underneath the tables, going about. It's almost a sort of like exciting experience because not only are the rats like kind of bobbing and weaving through people, they're also like dodging a few of the thieves down here who are just trying to kick the rats or squash them. And so it's actually a pretty dangerous task that you have given these little oaks, but they are way too quick and are able just to get past. I mean, the thieves don't really mind. They see rats all the time. You do see one or two other rats that you don't recognize. But all the while, the main one is keeping his eyes up, trying to get a gather of as many faces as possible. And I'm gonna ask you to roll me a perception check.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Since I'm looking through his eyes, I can use my perception. Let's hope I don't roll like shit, though. Oh, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's very good. Mm. You see quite a few interesting figures down here. Majority of them look like the run down thieves, like basic, but others look a bit more fancier than what you would expect. They have sort of like very well defined silk clothing. So you get the impression that a few of them have actually made a decent living from being a thief. You do notice one or two others with the red Renegade signature on like sort of the shoulder part, kind of indicating who they are, but those oaks are chilling by a table, kind of like left alone by the others. There is one person that catches your eye, and that is a very rough and tumbled looking man. He does look somewhat similar to the bounty, but the more noticeable thing about him is that he has sort of broken God's armor.
Hmm.
Yeah. What I mean by that, it's not complete. He doesn't have the leggings. He doesn't have the sort of right shoulder plate. And on his chest plate, it looks like a very rough job of trying to scratch something away. And so he's the one that catches your eye the most. When it comes to his face, I say he looks similar because he is wearing a mask. And so you're only able to get the descriptions of like the eyes, because he is also wearing a hoodie, and the eyes kind of match. The description gave a very bright orange, and his eyes are brightish orange.
Okay. Awesome.
And the rats come running back. A little bit of a mission for them to get out of the ground, but they're able to climb easily enough on the ladder, and they come running back to you, pretty much taking the same positions as they were before.
Yeah. The B sense fades away as I regain. I now start seeing through my own eyes again. I was like, "Brilliant job, gentlemen!" And I give, I hold up my finger, shake their hands, and place the food in front of them.
Oh, a small shake of the hand with a finger. That's adorable. Alright.
I can
And
just imagine everybody just looking at this and just completely jaw dropped.
yeah, so as you give your piece of ration, the big boss doesn't like take it in his mouth. He actually like grabs it with both of his front legs and just kind of wobbles away with it.
Just so you know, I'm imagining this is what the boss rat looks like. Let me paste this image in.
Yes, I agree with that. 100% agree with that.
Absolute unit of a rat.
Exactly. Alright.
Yeah. After saying my goodbyes to the rats, I turn back to the rest of the group.
And of course, you are met with eyes of sort of disgust from Roki, just like, what the hell?
Well, I got information.
You got a hit inside there?
We might have a guard that is hiding among them. Couldn't get too good of a look. He had a mask on, but there's definitely a runaway of sorts. And there were also red renegades in there, right?
Yes, there were, from what you can remember, 3 Red Renegades.
Those are 3 red renegades in there.
So, should we just do a repeat of last night? Just go in, kill everyone as fast as possible, retrieve this bounty guy, and be off? I mean, like, looks over at his sister. We did say that things shouldn't really get messy and we're gonna be done very quick, but this doesn't seem like we're gonna lose too much time since we're here, they're here.
Yeah, Nanaran, you, from what you saw, you would know that that place has roughly to 30 to 35 thieves inside.
Yeah, I assumed that. I don't think that's a good idea. There's quite a few people in there. We might be able to beat them, but it's gonna take a while, and we'll get hurt, very hurt. So I think we should rather take the diplomatic approach to this.
We're gonna blow the house up.
We'll smoke them out like the rats they are. No offense.
None taken.
Oh, no, don't worry, the rats have already.
Buggered off, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, diplomatic approach.
I mean, this place is basically a bar, right?
Yes, an underground bar.
Oh, I mean, we can easily just make our way in, talk our way past the lookouts, sit down and have a nice conversation with them.
Right. What do we wish to gain by this conversation?
Persuade them to come with us. It's worth a try.
That is very fair.
A blade to the back also helps. Just gotta be subtle about it.
Right, so we'll try to lure our target out of this den of thieves. I can see that working. What sort of story do we go with? We have this here researcher that is so helpless that requires some proper bodyguard work, and we are only her mere assistance. He kind of like, points with his chin towards, what was her face? Rocky.
As you say that, you can see her head just like slowly craning towards you, and you get the feeling like she's about to give you a glare.
I think I can make it look even better. And I pick up Scarlet, who's currently sleeping on my shoulders, and put her around her neck. Ah, there we go. That looks like the image of a researcher.
Perfect. Me and my sister here will be her automatons. Very much hell bent on protecting and serving her to our best capabilities. You are going to be her guide in this desert, and well, Cola, with
Mascot.
all due respect and apologies, um, Master Cola could probably fit the description of the researcher's favorite pet. Did you say, Miss Rocky? Ready to shoulder the heaviest of duties in this whole cover-up story?
Do I have a choice?
Well, we would be hopeless without you, so I don't think you do.
And let's get this over with before I decide to kill you myself.
I mean, you can try.
Oh, I'm sure I could. Just a quick blade to the throat.
It doesn't really have a throat, do you?
No. No.
Then I'll find a spot. Let's just get this over with, please.
Alright, lead the way. I am but a humble servant.
And as the servant, you should be the one leading the way for the mistress, shouldn't you?
Yeah, this is
Does
also
have
fair.
a point. Does have a point. And Yanni will like take point kind of like behind like to the side of Roki, and like try to point Yuna to the opposite so that they both like kind of flank her, with Victoria just behind her to like kind of make a human shield type of situation, but automaton shield, whatever the fuck.
Alright. So you all enter the tent immediately. The two men who are chatting with each other stop and just look at you. Just kind of expecting something.
Yeah, Neuron will walk up to them. Hello, we're looking to hire some security for this mistress. Do you mind if we have a look around and talk with the humble patrons for perhaps a job? And having like the nervous facade right now.
And yeah, roll me a deception check.
Oh shit! Why am I doing the charisma stuff? I'm terrible at charisma. I only have a +1.
Well, I mean, you've been rolling fine so far, so
Oh, 14, not bad.
they look at you for a moment before looking at each other and just kind of debating on something. It's just,
I do have my hood up, trying to hide as much as I can of Neuron and the famous, one of the famous Mythfits.
yeah, they don't let you in, but they do like say it's like, what are you talking about? And it's at this point that Roki actually steps forward and says something in Thieves' tongue.
Ooh.
Yes, she's actually a rogue. Haha. Yuna, you would of course understand what she says, and it's just, I'm sorry, but my servant hasn't been well trained in the arts of the tongue. Please, we know what this place is, and I am desperately looking for some help. Much to their surprise, they actually kind of like lean back a bit, as just trying to take in before nodding and allowing all of you down. So you all go down, and for Uninarin, a now very familiar hallway, you make your way in, and you see that this place, sadly I don't have a map, but hopefully we won't get into combat.
Yeah, I give a small nudge to Rocky and says, I didn't know you had, you knew some things like this. You are filled with surprises, aren't you?
Yeah, guess I am. Yeah. So as you guys enter, you all see what Nunarin see, and you do see that this place is packed. There is barely any free tables at the bar. There's like a few free seats. And it is actually slightly hard, like slightly difficult to navigate your way through this place. As Nunarin, you look around for a bit and you eventually see the man you saw before and start to head up to him. Of course, with all thieves' dens, there are quite a few eyes on you guys. But thankfully for your hoodies and your your best of disguises, they don't really recognize you, and so it's more of a checking out the competition kind of gaze, and not like what are these cops doing here. But you make your way to the guy you suspect, and there is a seat next to him.
Well, Rocky, take the lead. You've been doing well so far.
She gives you like
I give her a small smile.
she sighs and just sits next to him, ordering a drink from the bar. Just kind of staring forward. Just leans to him. Are you for hire? The man just kind of leans back and just, no, I'm not. Well, if a man isn't for hire, then what is a man doing down here? Something that you don't want. No, but I do. It sounds interesting. And frankly, interesting characters are the ones that you want to employ. Employ for what exactly? Just basic bodyguards. It's now that kind of just turns his head towards Roki. You, all of you do get a better look, and you do see the orange eyes, but nothing else. It's just, are they with you? Oh, don't worry about these two creations of mine. They just
Yaren's going to very, very quietly position himself behind him.
Yeah.
Just so he doesn't really notice him and he's within arm's reach of him, just in case something goes wrong.
Alright, it is a busy tavern. His eyes are on Roki, so yeah, you're very easily able to do that.
Cool.
Oh, don't mind these automatons behind me. They're just my creation, and frankly, they can't really do much. I mean, if you If you had to see them walk in here, you'd be ashamed. It's almost like walking dolls. He just kind of looks at you. Well, he just looks at you, Yanni, and Yuna. Just they are walking dolls. That's the point. Oh, they're absolutely so useless, which is why they're just pretty much a meat shield. And frankly, I need better hands than an owl and a drake. If you're willing, I am going to pay well. How much is well? Depends how much experience you have. He just looks around the bar. He does notice you, Ninarim, but just assumes that you are with Roki. Given your attire, he doesn't take much of you. Just, well, what would you like to know about the experience? Well, of course. What have you done with yourself? What kind of weapons are you able to use? How many men in this bar you think you can take? Well, unlike others in this place, I have been trained as a guard of the city. So,
That's our boy.
you can say I know my way around a sword better than they know their way around a knife. And it would probably take 3 or more of them to finally cut me down. Roki. Actually, I'm gonna roll for Roki. Let's see. How well are they? Uh, you can see Roki does do her best to kind of put on like a impressed smile.
Could could Yanni perhaps assist as he's noticing that she's struggling?
How would you
Something.
assist though?
He will like playing off what she said that the puppets are useless. He will like respond to what she previously said, but with like this very very long delay, kind of like displaying the the whole like internet browser type of like internet explorer type of speed. It's like, oh, yes, we are terribly useless to our mistress. She is in dire need of someone who has the skills and the looks to kill.
See Naran make the biggest face palm ever.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as she like does the smile, you step in and nearly everyone's attention in the bar just turns towards you. Oh wow, that was amazing. Yeah, there's it takes a moment for everyone to kind of like process what they just heard and what the hell is going on. But eventually they're just like it's just some crazy nut job because a few of them can't actually see you. And so yeah, our traitor is just looking at at you, and Roki just responds like, "See what I mean? Absolutely. I mean, I would be dead before they even pull out their swords. You can't expect them to do anything." He just kind of slowly nods, like, "I can see that. So, are you willing to be hired?" Well, before we jump to conclusions, how much are you willing to pay? Servant, how much do you think this man is worth?
Yeah, Naran looks over him. No, an ex-guard can go for quite a bit. Probably 4 to 5 gold a day, easily.
There you have it, 4 to 5. He just kind of waits for a bit and it's just 10. How about 6? 8.5. 7.5? 8. No, can't really do 8, unfortunately. Yeah, no, how about 7 gold pieces, 5 silver, and I'll add on some extra benefit.
Ooh.
He just kind of gives her, like, a squint look. What kind of benefits? Let me actually roll it. Oh, wow. I rolled a charisma check, and she got a natural 1.
Bullshit.
Could Yanni assist again? Just respond again to like something that was said prior. Just like, yes, she would be entirely and positively dead before we could even unleash our swords. We are useless constructs to her greatness. She has a great many deal of skills and is very talented.
As Yanni's busy spouting this, Naran walks up to him and knocks him on the head, like knocking on a door. Ding, ding, ding.
As he does so, he was like at the end of his sentence with like the word talented, and he just goes talented.
And Naran pretends to go behind the neck and just tries to like click an off button or something.
As much as your loud burst drew everyone's attention again, this god unfortunately was too focused on Roki. She rolled a 3 for advantage, so. And she just kind of gives like a very crooked smile and like does her best, like flirty wink. And it's just. Nah, 8 gold pieces. Fine, I'll do 8. He just looks at you, Yanni, just hoping you're not going to spout out again. Alright, well, if I am going to be working for you, best get that thing fixed as soon as possible. Trust me, if it was easy, I would have done it already. He just kind of stands up and just. Both of them just stand up, kind of shake hands to solidify the agreement. Alright, well, first off, I'm gonna need an escort towards my estate. It's a bit of a walk, and through the slums isn't very pleasing. I almost got stolen, or my purse almost got stolen by a kid. So I suggest we get on our way and I'll show you all the arrangements. He gives a nod and actually starts leading, like, out of the tavern. If any of you want, you can do me a perception check, just to see how it is leaving the place.
Sure thing.
That's the
I
sixth.
see everything.
That's the sixth natural 20, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or something.
All right.
I want to see everybody's IDs. I want to see everybody's how much gold they all have. What are all their weapons?
All right. Yanni and Cola, for you two, as you're leaving, you leave with the same feeling as you got in, like just eyes upon you, and just the general attention towards you guys. You don't really notice much or anything that is interesting. As for you, you know these kinds of places, and so you're a lot more attentive, a lot more aware, and you're able to see like a few groups of thieves, like one or two, made up of 3 to 4 groups, actually just kind of really eyeing you guys out. Like, instead of seeing you as a like competitor, you get the feeling that they are actually seeing you as like a potential.
Right. Probably.
Yes.
Mhm.
So you do get the feeling now that you might be a target. But Ninoran, as for you, you pretty much notice that as well, and you also notice that the Red Renegade, you like are able to turn your head in such a way that it makes it look like you're looking at something else, but actually looking back at them. And you actually see that they have been watching you the entire time, kind of like whispering between each other.
Thought as much.
And so, yeah. And you do notice a few interesting looking fellas. One has a very decent scar going across his cheek all the way to his jaw. Another is just completely bald with some interesting tattoos. This is a nice, interesting fellas to look at. Definitely a story behind them, but we'll get to that. Maybe never. Alright. So you all make your way through the corridor.
Oh, just
Oh,
as
yes?
we are leaving, as I was looking around the room, I want to make the ever so slightest bit of eye contact with the renegades, and just to make them feel like, wait, did they notice us? Huh? What? That type of thing. Ever so slightest bit of eye contact with them.
Make me a deception check.
Sure. I want them to know I was looking at them.
Oh, no, but it's more of whether they know who you are.
Okay. 14.
You do a okayish job of looking nervous. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not looking nervous or anything. I'm just, as going out, I'm just look around the room once and just like make a small bit of eye contact with them and walk out.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there isn't really a point for me asking for that deception. I'll say with that glance.
I mean, what about intimidation? I guess.
Well, yeah, that would kind of defeat the point of you being undercover, wouldn't that? Like,
Well,
you
I
are.
assume they knew who we were when we walked in with all. I mean, we raided the hideout and.
To be honest, they were actually trying to figure you guys out.
Ah, okay.
But because Roki was the one doing the deceptions, they kind of knew she wasn't who she actually was
Gotcha.
or playing as, but they didn't know who you guys were. So they knew Roki was someone else, but they were trying to figure out who you guys were. That's
Gotcha.
so with the 14, I will. You notice them kind of like squint a bit, like trying to see if they, almost as if they're trying to be sure of what they're seeing. And as you see that, you're like, just follow on with your act, but a little bit more hastily, and head for the door.
Mhm.
All right. You all make your way out of the underground thieves' den, out of the tent. Roki does say goodbye in thieves' tongue to the two guards outside. They both nod in respect. Now you all are making your way through the slums, all being led by this guy who's doing a more obvious job of trying to hide his armor with his cloak. And it's just kind of like hugging the sides, just hugging his arms to his chest.
Here's a little question.
Yeah.
Does it seem like the guy is leading us in a way that would potentially lose any pursuers, or is he trying to do the exact opposite and make it easier for somebody to potentially follow us?
That's a good question. What's your passive perception?
Yanni's passive perception is a 14.
Mm. I'll say that you do notice him take a few like slip roads, like kind of windy, but not too many. I mean, oftentimes you do find yourself walking in straight lines. So he's the best way I could describe it is he's doing a half-assed job of trying to lose any pursuers. Whether it's intentional or not, it's hard to say.
Okay.
All right.
As Roki is leading, as he's leading us along, I'm gonna just go back to the rest of the group and just say, whisper to them, so when are we gonna jump him?
Yanni just kind of looks over at Yuna and like trusting her judgment in this whole skulldaggery matters.
For a place without too many people around.
Where the slums are probably less densely populated compared to the city itself, so
All right. So you guys are gonna wait until you're pretty much out of the slums.
you know, like still within the slums because I'm assuming that the slums are less populated compared to the city proper, right?
Yes,
But
but
like,
it's more dense.
Yeah.
So it might be less populated, but because of the small area, it seems like there's more people because there's not much room. So it's more dense than the other areas.
mhm. Oh, okay. Then yeah, as you said before, when waiting until we are out of the slums, so we don't have to deal with a higher population density, I guess. And also, it's probably safe to assume that he'd be a lot more careful and take remote alleyways while within the city proper because his fellow guardsmen would be around.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
So about an hour into the walk, you guys had already gotten into the city, and it's taken so long because he is picking alleyways, but they're not really that out of sight. Like there are still quite a few people in those alleyways, and he is doing a pretty decent job of keeping away from guard sights. But eventually, he comes to an alleyway where there isn't anyone inside. It's actually quite a narrow one, you're able to fit 3 people shoulder to shoulder in this alleyway.
Hmm.
And it looks like it's going to go for a little bit of a distance. Like maybe 30 feet in front of you is how long this alleyway stretches.
Hmm. Neuron's gonna jog up next to him, wait for someone else to jog up on, next on the other side of them.
Who's going to be the other one jogging up? Just need an.
Probably any.
Alright.
Mhm.
As you both are jogging up, Roki just kind of speaks to so can you just hold on a bit? I don't know if this alleyway is particularly safe. He stops and just turns around. It's like, what do you mean? Like, it just feels like a trap almost. He just kind of squints a bit, just kind of confused.
Neuron just slightly pokes a dagger right at his back. I wouldn't move if I were you.
He just takes a heavy breath and just. Fuck.
And on the opposite side, Yanni like kind of grabs a hold of his like shoulder and just she refers to other benefits as in sexual acts.
Oh, I was not expecting that. Oh.
I was holding on to that one since we left the tavern.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Well, there goes that tense atmosphere that we conjured up.
Yeah, Roki's just staring at you like, you know you can't drop the act, right?
No response as he is quote unquote processing.
Gola
Ah.
just lifts his hand and is like pointing at him and said, then use message to say you can respond to this message.
Yanni is a method actor. Anyway, my good chum, we can do this either the easy way or the hard way. You can struggle and we're gonna have to hurt you a bit, or we can take you to the gods and we'll be on our way.
The dude didn't really hear you as he was just staring, like full attention on Yanni. Just like, I already knew that. This, he's actually trying to figure out if Yanni is actually a useless doll or if he's just pretending. So you know what, Yanni, roll me a performance check. And I will. Nah. Yeah, just. It's perfect! It's perfect! It's absolutely perfect, yes!
The nat ones are coming through.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, he's just like watching closely, and then he like kind of notices the blood spatters that were like hidden by the robe from last night. He's like noticing the small like blades at the joints. It's like oh.
oh no.
Yeah, this god, this ex god is just staring at you. It's like, just fucking stop. It's like, it's not. Stop. You're absolutely horrible.
It is not funny for you, but it is very much for me.
At this point, he just sighs and accepts his fate. Well, do what you want to do with me. I don't give a shit anymore.
What did you do anyway to get you on the bad side of the gods?
Simple. I took a little bit of money on the side from a few stores here and there. One of my two companions saw that. Couldn't have them ratting on me, so I killed them, and then a few more saw me do that, so...
Not a very smart person overall, then. Good to know.
Clearly not.
Well then, let's take them in, boys.
And girls.
And girls.
Alright. So I'm pretty sure at that point you all just head straight for the barracks. Is there anything you'd like to do on your way there?
Well, remove any of his weapons, bind his hands, stuff like that. Make it a little difficult for him to try to
Alright.
run away.
The bare necessities.
Alright. You remove 2 basic daggers and a short sword. It's nothing much, but in a fight it would get the job done. They do look like the sort of standard issue equipment, except for the knife, the short sword, but the knives look more custom made. Not insanely beautiful or detailed, but just made to his preferred liking. And yeah, you guys pretty easily, I mean, he's surrounded by 5 capable fighters. So yeah, he's not going to resist. You are able to easily bind his hands before making your way off to the barracks. And almost immediately when you get to the barracks, you see a few guards actually rush up and kind of like forcefully take him away from you guys. As Jeff walks up and is like, he's the traitor, isn't he?
Indeed he is, unfortunately.
Wow, you guys act far. Damn. We only had that bounty up yesterday. And you already saw it, took it, and brought him in?
Just gotta look in the right places.
Yeah, I guess.
Also found the kitten, and the construction is going on.
But speaking about the construction, I'm assuming those 3 are yours? And by the bounty board, you actually see your 3 servants just kind of standing with their hands behind their, like, no, standing with their hands in front, like kind of crossed, just patiently waiting.
Are they like all looking down, kind of dejected?
Yes, yes. They thought that
Yeah.
their master would be there, hoping to grab the reward for the bounty, but he was never there to get it. So sad.
Yes, yes. Not well. Yeah, they are mine.
Well, they have a reward for you. I assume that because they came here and just held a bag of 10 silver in my face. Not
Damn
gonna
puppets
lie.
stealing our jobs.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are more adventurers. I doubt you want to be doing some boring construction work. I mean, yeah. I'll get you the reward for capturing that guy. As Jeff walks off, he actually Instead of going like behind the desk where he would have the bag of bounties, like with the rewards there, he actually went inside the barracks. And it took him about 5 minutes before he came out. The medium-sized bag of coins, just tossing it up and down and walking up to you guys. Well, here's your reward, I guess. I don't know how much is in there, but Captain said this was what I should give you. As he holding out the bag.
Una will take that.
And Una, you can add 50 gold pieces.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Add it to the party fund.
Party fund is slowly growing. And I'm pretty sure you've already added the 10 silver pieces from the dolls. Alright.
Well,
Yep.
I think it's about time we start getting ready for our audience with the king and queen.
That it is. That it is.
Alright then. Best be on our way. This is Roki speaking, by the way.
Yes, master, lead the way.
And very annoyingly, she looks at you before starting to walk off. Just kind of saying, it's like, you can drop the act now, please.
No, I am completely useless. Follows him with a spring in his step, literally.
All
Actually,
jokes
kinda
aside,
seeing
though.
him like this.
The other thing was, your 3 servants, they were walking behind you and saw the spring in the step, and just kind of mimicked you, all 3 of them doing the spring. Kind of clumsily, but they still like land it. And just pretty much copy everything you do from now on.
Oh,
That's adorable.
give them all a big, big group hug. So proud of you 3.
Alright.
All jokes aside, though, Roki, you did a very good job in there.
Oh, thank you. I was kind of forced into the spotlight. Looks at you, Yanni.
You have to admit, it was fun, though.
Yes, being surrounded by 30 or more cutthroats, all staring at you because one dumbass decided to scream. Yes, very, very fun. Very fun indeed.
Can I roll inside and see if see if she actually did have fun?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's.
14.
Yeah, you get the hints that she was liking the fact that she is doing something other than trying to plan the next move and like possible contingencies for the plans. But you also get the sense that she didn't actually like being in such a dangerous situation with that kind of humor being blurted out. So it's a yes and no kind of feel you get from her.
Okay.
Alright. And with that, you all start making your way to the palace.
The Pleasure
Uh,
Palace.
No. Maybe. Maybe. But we'll leave that for next session.
Hey.
Woo! Oh, that was a very good session. I came into this one with a very small headache, and now I am absolutely energized. I don't think I can sleep now.
I'm just happy I got the chance to speak with animals and be sense. I've been looking for a chance to use it for ages.
And it worked, eh?
It worked like a charm.
I know,
You-
very cool, Gary.
It was adorable.
Yeah. But that was an amazing session tonight. Thank you guys.